Hey guys, what's going on? Coach Megan here. Today I want to share with you a simple sequence of basic postures that you would see in a yoga class. I designed this sequence for some of my high school athletes that I've been working with recently because I noticed that they were unclear about some of even the basics of yoga, which is to be expected if they've never done a yoga class before. In this sequence, I'll take you through just some basic positions and stretches that you would see in any studio class that you would attend. So you can use this as a way to warm up, or you could even give this to your athletes as an off-day practice. So no need for any special equipment here. I'm simply using my yoga mat and wearing my comfy clothes that I can move freely in. If you're ready, let's get going. We're going to start with some of the basic poses that you might see in a yoga class. We'll start at the top of our mat with our feet hip distance apart, which is called mountain pose. So really this is the foundation pose that you'll see most often in a yoga class, and it's kind of like home base. We come back to this pose all the time. Here in mountain pose, we'll take a nice deep breath in, reach high, and then hinge at the hips. We'll fold forward. Nice soft bend in the knees, and just let yourself drape over your legs. From here, we'll move into a half lifted position, which means that my head, my shoulders, and my hips are all at the same level. Here you can begin to play around with overarching or overextending your spine, and then find some sort of a neutral position here. It might take a little time, but that's okay, just practice. And then forward fold again, all the way back down. Hands frame the feet here. Step back with the right foot and drop the knee. So we're coming into low lunge here. And we'd like for the hips to be square. So pull back just a little on the left one, push forward on the right, and make two nice 90-degree angles with the legs. Reach up overhead. If you want to challenge your balance here, begin to look up a little bit. You could even close your eyes. And then come back down, hands frame the foot, and you'll begin to wiggle that foot off to the side and come into all fours or quadruped position. So that just essentially means I'm down on my hands and my knees. And here, let's spread the fingers wide, pressing down into all 10 fingertips, and begin to do that same arching and rounding of the back that we did earlier. This is called cat and cow. So here's the cat position. And then as you drop your belly, that's what we refer to as cow. So it's a little bit of a spinal warm-up. Now as you come back through neutral, pick up the right hand and reach forward. Place it back down under the shoulder. Shift your weight just slightly to pick up the left. So we're kind of working our way up to a bigger movement. Now let's try the right leg, extend out and away, come back to center, and let's try the left leg. Good. So the goal here is to move arms and legs without shifting drastically to the left and the right to compensate for that arm or leg that's moving. Good. As we finish with the left leg here, we're going to go back and start over. This time it will be the left hand and the right leg. Extend out and away here. This is called bird dog. And you can bring them back down. And let's go right hand, left leg. Nice. Back to the first side. Let's extend out and away. And if you want to challenge your balance here, try to touch knee to elbow underneath the body. Extend out and away, and then replace the hand and the knee. Right hand, left leg, reach, touch maybe under the body, reach, and then place the hand back down again. So now we're back in that all fours position, and I'm going to tuck my toes under here. Press down into the toes and the hands and just hover my knees off the ground. Good. And we're trying to keep that same head, shoulders, and hips in line, not only in that half lifted position we did at the beginning, here in all fours, and when we hover knees off the ground. Nice. Now extend the right leg and the left leg, and here we are in plank. So really thinking about pressing the ground away as opposed to holding yourself up here. And then let's bend the knees and shift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. And you can readjust hands and feet here to make yourself comfortable. And try with the knees slightly bent. Everyone really wants to lock the legs out and make them stick straight, but I really encourage my athletes to bend the knees deeply. And then let's shift the weight forward, coming back into plank. Good, and from here, go up and back, downward facing dog again. And just try a series of these. Forward to plank, up and back to downward facing dog. Each time trying to get a little bit more refined in your plank pose, a little bit more length in your downward facing dog. Good, last time. Forwards into plank, downward facing dog, and then just begin to walk your feet to your hands at the top of the mat. So we'll end up in that same forward fold from the beginning. And here, just tuck your tailbone and do a really slow spinal roll up to come all the way back up to standing. Good, maybe a nice big stretch as you come up. Nice. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And now let's add on to that. So let's shift your weight into your left foot. Hands can either be on the hips or out to the side. And let's just march the right knee up and in. So we're priming a little bit of balance here. And then we're going to tip forward and extend the leg out behind us. So kind of like a little single leg balance and reach. So if you're feeling tippy, simply put the arms out to the side. Or you could even counterbalance by extending the arms forwards and overhead. Good. The next time, we're going to look back. We're going to step back with this right foot and come into high lunge. Now the important part here in high lunge is that your feet are on railroad tracks, so they're not one right behind the other. That will make you a little more tippy. So just check in with the feet. The hips, knees, and toes are all going to point forwards. So you'll be on the ball of this back foot with the heel lifted just like I am right now. Just like we did in the low lunge, you'll pull back on the left hip, push forwards on the right. Inhale, arms come up, nice big reach. And then let's add a little bit of a twist here. So I'm going to twist to my left. Good. Come back through center. And then let's put the hands down and step to plank. Couple deep breaths here in this plank. And then either you can lower your body all as one unit or drop the knees and lower yourself all the way down to the ground. Here, let's take the hands a little bit wider as we press down to lift the chest up. Really slide the shoulder blades down your back first so that your shoulders aren't crunched up towards your ears as you're pressing. So roll them down and back and lift just a little bit here. Good, once more. Press down to lift up. And then bring the hands down by the ribs. Press up and through that tabletop position into child's pose. And that means that your hips will go all the way back, somewhere close to your heels. Arms will be out, extended in front of you, forehead to the mat. Take 2 nice deep breaths here. As you finish that second breath, press into the hands to come back up to tabletop. Tuck your toes, hover your knees off the ground, and then shift up and back, downward facing dog. Good. 2 deep breaths here. And then just begin to walk your feet to your hands at the top of your mat. Forward fold. This time, let's sweep the arms out and around to come all the way back up. Big reach. And arms come down by your side. So let's now do all of that on the left side. So inhale, arms come up. As you hinge at the hips, forward fold, go all the way down. From here, you come into that half lifted position, and your hands can rest gently just above the knees or fingertips to shins. Some of your athletes might be able to put fingertips down to the floor, but keep in mind we want head, shoulders, and hips all in the same line. Forward fold, go all the way back down. And then step the left foot back and drop the knee, low lunge. So you'll untuck the toes in the back, square off the hips, pulling back on the right one, forwards on the left. Maybe taking the arms up, maybe looking up, closing your eyes, challenging your balance. As you release and come back down, hands frame the front foot, and you can heel toe that foot off to the side, or pick it up and carry it to all fours. Another round of cat and cow here, so extending the spine, flexing the spine. You can do this as many times as you like or as feels good. Nice. From here, we'll lift the right hand, then the left one, then the right leg, then the left leg, keeping in mind we want everything else to stay silent as we do this. Now left hand, right leg, touch knee to elbow under the body, extend, and put them back down. Right hand, left leg, touch knee to elbow, extend, and put them back down. Nice. From here, you'll tuck your toes under, lift the knees just slightly, and hover them off the ground. Hold for 3, for 2, for 1, and then step back to plank, top of a push-up here, and then downward facing dog. Take 2 nice deep breaths here. And then shift forward into plank. Back to dog. Forwards into plank, really pressing the ground away. Back to dog. And now begin to walk your feet to your hands at the top of your mat, ending in a forward fold. Really trying to point the crown of your head down towards the ground. And just keep a nice soft bend in your knees here. Let's sweep the arms out and around to come all the way back up. And this time, hands go to the hips or they extend out to the side. Shift your weight into the right foot and begin to bring that left knee up in front of you. So keep a little baby micro bend in this right leg. It will really help you to stay nice and balanced as you move. Now let's kick the leg out behind as we tip forward here. Coming back through center, lifting the knee. Try this a few more times and you can play around with the arm variation that works for you. Good. The next time we extend the leg down and back, look back and put the foot down gently into high lunge. Now just like last time, you want to make sure your feet are on railroad tracks. And this time we're pulling back on the right hip, forwards on the left, just a little bit here. Big reach with the arms. And then let's twist to the right. Good. Taking a couple deep breaths. You can look either forwards over your left thumb, or you can start to shift your gaze, maybe looking all the way back over this right hand behind you. Come back through center. Hands go to the floor, and step back to plank. Top of a push-up here. Good. Now either lower yourself as one unit or drop the knees, go all the way down to the ground. Hands go wide, maybe they go off your mat, but they want to be at shoulder height here. Slide the shoulder blades down your back and press the tops of your feet into the floor. Press down to lift just your chest up off the floor and then roll back down. Twice more. Lift, lower, last time, lift, and lower. Good. Hands come back down by the rib cage if you can. Press up through that all fours position, down into child's pose. 2 deep breaths here. And then rock forward, press into the hands, tuck the toes, hover the knees, and then go up and back into downward facing dog. Good. From here, let's go back into all fours. And you're going to come to sit down. So you can get there any way that works best for you. Legs extended out in front of you. And you just want to make sure you're sitting right up on those sitting bones. So you'll know that you're doing this as because you'll be nice and lifted kind of through your low belly here. If you're really hunching forwards and you've got a lot of rounding in your low back, see if you can sit up tall, bend the knees, and lean forward just a little bit. We're going to stretch hamstrings here, so bring the arms up. Hinging at the hips, you'll lean forwards, and then wherever you feel the best stretch along the back side of your legs, that's when your hands will go to the floor, and you'll just lean gently into this stretch. Now I'm still pressing down pretty strongly through my heels, as if I was trying to scooch the mat back towards me. And then after I've done a few breaths here, kind of in this lifted pose with the back fairly straight, now I can fold forwards over the legs. Good. Take about 2 more deep breaths there. And walk the hands back up towards the hips, and then behind you just a little. You're going to take the right ankle and cross it over the left knee. So we're kind of making this 4 shape with our legs, and this stretch is called figure 4. So option 1 is to put the sole of the left foot down on the ground and stay like this. Option 2 would be to lay back and grab the left leg and pull it into your chest. So that's what this would look like. So whichever version works best for you, we'll spend 5 long breaths here. And as you finish that next breath, you're going to switch, so slide the ankle off the knee. I would encourage you, if you tried the layback version, to come back up to seated, extend the right leg, cross the left ankle over the right knee, and I'm just actually north of the knee here. My ankle isn't directly on the knee. Hands go behind. Sole of the right foot goes to the floor. This is option 1. Option 2 again is to lay back and grab a hold of the right leg and pull it gently closer to you. I'm going to stay here on this side, and it's perfectly normal to be capable of one position or one option the first time and a different one on the second side. So don't worry too much. Just do whatever works best for each side. So we'll spend 5 long breaths here. And then as you finish that next breath, you can just slide the ankle off the knee. And we're gonna lie back and pull our heels in just a little bit, maybe so that our fingertips could brush them, and set up for bridge here. So you'll press down through the feet to lift your hips up off the mat and then lower down. We're gonna do that 5 more times. So pressing through the feet, squeezing your glutes to lift your hips, lower down. Press to lift, release and lower. Press and lift, release, press, release. Now this last time, you'll press and you'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. As you lower the hips down, set them off to the left, just like 2 inches or so. And then you're going to drop both knees over to the right. Now you can leave the arms kind of just down where they were, or extend them long out away from one another for a twist here. Just take about 2 or 3 more breaths here. As you finish that next breath, gently bring the knees back up to center. Plant the feet into the floor, lift the hips, send them over to the right about 2 inches so that you can drop the knees, over to the left. Nice gentle twist here. Two more deep breaths. As you finish that next breath, just gently bring the knees back up to center. And then extend the legs long down the mat. And you can do whatever you like with the arms. Either keep them here, you could rest them one on the chest, one on the belly, or simply rest them down by your side. And the last 5 or so minutes of class is usually reserved for what we call Shavasana, which is a rest period where we simply lay flat on the floor. You could also do this laying on your side if that was more comfortable for you. Some people even prefer to do it on their stomach or just be seated in a comfortable position, eyes closed and hands gently resting in the lap, whatever works best for you. But this last 5 minutes is just some time that allows you to kind of incorporate the work that you just did in that sequence of poses into your body. It's also a really great little bit of downtime before you finish a practice and have to move on with the rest of your day. So just for 5 minutes or so, sit quietly. You can focus on any number of things, but I often encourage my students to just focus on the inhale and exhale of the breath. So you can hit pause on this video and do that now for as long or as little as you like. Try 5 minutes of just sitting quietly, focusing on your breath.